Child, do I have a story for y'all. It all started when this beautiful girl follows me on Instagram. Let's do the Estee Lauder to figure out how ghetto this was. Like, over time, it's clear that we're very similar. Like, all of her story posts, I'm like, that's literally me. Like, do we share brain? Come to find out, we literally have like the same chart. She's a Libra rising, I'm a Libra rising. She's an Aries moon, I'm an Aries moon. The only difference is she's a Cancer and I'm a Capricorn, which they're compatible. All signs pointed to the fact that we'd be good friends, right? Wrong. The time comes and we're like, okay, let's actually meet. We FaceTime and it's so nice. It felt like God put her in my life for a reason. I had been thinking about taking a break from alcohol and taking a break from partying and focusing on my goals. Like, talking to her really solidified it. She was like asking me questions like, where do you want to be in 10 years? Like, do your 10-year plan in 6 months. For a Capricorn like me, that is like writing me a love letter. Like, that's what I want to be talking about. When I told her I'd been thinking about not drinking, she was like, I'm also taking a break from drinking. I'm a month sober right now. And like, we agree, okay, we're gonna hang out this weekend and we're just gonna have a wellness weekend. We're not gonna drink, just gonna work out, create vision boards, just like hang out and get to know each other. It all seemed too good to be true. That should have been my sign. It was just so like, oh my God, God, you put her in my life for a reason. And it was a reason. It was a different reason though. The day comes where I'm supposed to go visit her. She lives a little bit away from me. Also, I'm not gonna say who it is. I don't want y'all to try to find who this is. I respect this girl, you know. I wish her the best. She's just kind of weird. But anyways, he lives a little ways away from me. So she was like, okay, if you wanna just like spend the night, like you can. I would hate for you to have to like drive all the way back. And I'm like, you know what? I hate driving. So that's actually perfect for me. Yes, I did realize it's a bit strange spending the night with a stranger. I want us to both know that I knew. In my defense, I've met up with a lot of men from the internet. I wasn't going to their house, but I was meeting up with men from the internet. So I'm like, I can meet up with this wholesome girl from the internet. Push comes to shove, I can take her. I can't take these men, but at least I have a fighting chance with the girl. And I just had a good feeling. Like, I'm a vibes person and the vibes were right until they weren't. We went to this restaurant and something weird happens though. She orders a drink. I'm like, that's weird. You're a month sober. We're like having a sober weekend and you're ordering a drink? Okay, weird. Her ordering that drink was like a yellow flag. Everyone has a different relationship with alcohol. I'm not the drinking police, but it is kind of strange that we both agreed we're not drinking and boom, first meet, you get a drink. She doesn't just get one drink, she gets two. Okay, just a mental note. When you're first meeting someone, you just take mental notes like, okay, this is the type of person she is, you know? And the next morning, she wants to go on a hike. And I did want to go on the hike, but I was really nervous about sweating out my hair. My hair just gets messed up on this hike. And I'm telling her how I'm nervous because I have this brunch I have to get to. And the whole weekend I was making it known that I have a very important brunch that I have to go to. A weird thing that happens is I start complaining about how I know how to do makeup and how I help my friends do their makeup. And I was just like, I wish I had a friend like that with hair. Which at that point, she volunteers that she does hair. She knows how to do hair. She knows how to do all the styles, which I say, then do my hair. And she's like, no. Well, I'm like, well, that was helpful. You don't have to do my hair, whatever. But why'd you bring up that you could do hair? Like, I don't know, was that a joke? It wasn't funny. It actually pissed me off because I was stressed about my hair. She wanted to go bowling with her guy friend and a friend of his. So it was like a double date. I was down for it, but I was stressed about my hair and I was feeling tired. Long story short, we show up at bowling. And guess what the first thing she does is? She gets a drink. Long story short, we show up at bowling. And guess what the first thing she does is? She gets a drink. Which to me is just weird. The first night you drinking, I can excuse that kind of in my head. The second night, I'm like, oh, she's not actually serious about this like sobriety journey with me. Which is like, fine, but why did you say you were? Like, that's the weird part. You know, you're like being inconsistent. And again, she doesn't just have one drink, she has two. Literally everyone I'm with is drinking. One guy there is like being really drunk. Like, he's so handsy, so like, let's all go back to your place and we'll get a bottle. And I'm like, get a bottle? Oh hell, like I know that vibe. I know that night. I'm not doing that. That's not what I signed up for. I wanted a wholesome weekend. I wanted to make my fucking vision board. At this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I think after bowling, I'm just gonna go home tonight instead of in the morning because I have to figure out how to do my hair for this event. In hindsight, maybe I should have communicated when I was thinking about leaving earlier throughout the night. But my logic was, I don't want to embarrass her in front of her guy friends. Like, people are weird in front of other people. So once we're alone, I'll tell her that I'm gonna head out. Ciao. When we get in the car back to her place, I let her know, hey, I think I'm gonna head home tonight to be up early. Everything changes. We stop the music. She doesn't resume it. We were having a fun, bantery conversation. She gets so cold. One word answer. She's like, okay, fine. I don't care. Go. I didn't expect you to say this long anyway. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, communication's important in my friendships. Like, what's up? Like, no, I want you to leave. You should leave. I'm like using every ounce of emotional intelligence to like deduce why she's acting weird. And I'm like, oh, if you feel like uncomfortable in front of those guys, like, because one guy was her friend, like her close friend. So I was like, oh, she should be fine because that's her friend. Like, you know him longer than you knew me, girl. But anyways, I'm like, okay, maybe that's what it is. So I asked her, I'm like, oh, is that guy making you uncomfortable? Like, if you don't feel comfortable around him, like, I'll stay until he leaves. Like, and then she's like, yeah, that's what it is. I feel so uncomfortable around him. I really want you to stay. And I'm like, girl, why didn't you say that? That's fine. And she's like, no, I'm being sarcastic. What the fuck is going on? Why are we acting like this? Like, come on. We're grown. Let's use our words, babe. Weird vibes continue as I'm packing my stuff and leaving. Like, goes in her room, shuts her door, doesn't talk to me. When I get to my car, I'm like, I'll text her I got home safe and I'll reassure her that I had a good time. I just had to go home to prepare for this event. When I get to my car, I get a text that says, I don't want to be friends anymore. Take care. If someone tells me they don't want to be my friend, that's cool. You don't have to be my friend. I have enough. What you're not gonna do is silence me because I got some shit to say, bitch. I was gonna keep it cute. But now I gotta tell you about yourself because you're acting so weird. Like, why are you being weird? Because I wanna leave? I'm not gonna share the text messages because honestly, I wasn't my highest self. I told her that she's acting fucking weird. I suggested that she get some therapy and that she learn how to communicate better. Why would me leaving disrupt you like that? I can understand someone being a little disappointed that you're ending the party soon. Not like I'm just leaving to leave, but like, even if I was leaving to leave, why can't I leave? Like, this was so perplexing, so disturbing to my peace. One, I don't like how she reacted to this. Like, why just be like, I don't want to be your friend? Like, why was that the starting point of that conversation? I don't like that kind of communication. Also, no offense, we just met. Who's to say we were friends? We were acquaintances, but whatever. Even if we could resolve this issue, which I don't think we could, you acted weird too early on. Like, there's a threshold. You have to act weird like at least 5 friend meetups in. Like, if you're acting weird on the first friend meetup, like, that's a huge red flag, a red banner at this point, and nope. But the thing is, even if in some world I could make it past this, there's a fundamental difference between us because I'm a type of person who likes to leave when I'm ready to leave. You can ask any of my friends, when Tyla's ready to go, Tyla's gonna call her Uber. She will see you later. Like, that's my thing. I hate being anywhere for a second longer than I'd like to be. Y'all let me know, like, was I wrong in this situation? Like, call me the fuck out. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, you know how they say it be your own man? It be your own man. I am back with another spooky story. This one is a submission from Seychelles, or Seychelles, I'm not really sure. It's from the beautiful Seychelles Islands, nestled in the heart of the Indian Ocean. So this story happened to the person who submitted the story's aunt back in 2004. So this tale revolves around her aunt, her husband, and her children. We're living in a house in this place called Biolier, and I'm sorry if I butchered that, and the place was owned by her husband's boss. Since the boss lived in the UK, he trusted the aunt's family to oversee his property when he's gone. And basically, they oversee his property and make sure that it's kept in good condition. So the aunt is a dedicated housewife who often enjoys company of her close friends, and her close friends visited her daily. So one evening, as the clock approaches 8 p.m., it was time to take out the garbage. So auntie and the kids all decide to grab a bag and walk to the garbage can. So the children, one of them was 15 and the other 2 were merely 3. And the garbage bin was located about a 2-minute walk from the home. Little did they know that this routine task would lead to an unsettling encounter. As they made their way to the bin, they spotted a figure jogging, and this figure had on a hoodie. The aunt greeted the jogger with a warm bonsoir, which translates to good evening. But the person didn't reply, and he just kept running. Without thinking anything of it, the aunt discards the garbage and turns around to head home with her children. Suddenly, this unsettling feeling just washed over her. She turned and she noted the jogger had actually pivoted, turned around, and was headed beelining straight in her direction. And in that moment, the aunt turns around to run when she starts to feel like someone or something are weighing her legs down, as if someone had settled at the back of her legs. And this panic is surging through her. Without thinking about the foot or whatever, she just takes off. And she is running as fast and as best as she could. Keep in mind that she is feeling this weight on both of her legs. She is running and she is dragging the two youngest children along. And the sensation of weight on her legs starts to intensify. And mind y'all, she is hearing the sound of this jogger chasing her. And she's hearing the footsteps getting closer and closer as her legs are getting heavier and heavier. They're racing towards the driveway, hearts are pounding, until a passing car startled the mysterious figure, who then transforms into a black cat and ran off into the nearby bushes. Excuse me? Dazed and terrified, the aunt decides to run inside and tell her husband about this bizarre incident, which is probably not a good idea. But she goes inside, tells her husband, and her husband goes outside to look. The husband is out there looking around, investigating, and he found nothing. No trace of a figure and no trace of even a cat. And they let it go and go to sleep. The following day, Auntie woke up feeling unwell. She struggled to even walk. After visiting the hospital, the doctors were baffled and could not identify her ailments. And during this terrible time, her best friend remained a constant source of support, visiting her each and every day. As the weeks dragged on, unfortunately, her condition worsened to the point where her aunt sought the counsel of a local nun known for her spiritual insights. Well, the nun revealed a shocking vision. Well, it was revealed that someone close to Auntie was doing witchcraft out of jealousy, hoping to force her out of the property for themselves. The nun directed Auntie's attention to a large rock near her washing basin, indicating that the individual had hidden a nefarious object there in the rock. And unfortunately, unbeknownst to Auntie, whatever it is that was in that rock was the source of her misfortune. The nun gave Auntie a list of instructions. Armed with this knowledge, the aunt goes home and follows the nun's instructions. She found the item hidden by the rock. She removed it, disposing of it behind her while reciting special prayers. To her astonishment, after completing the ritual, she felt an oppressive weight being lifted. The eerie presence dissipated, and the nun's advice proved fruitful as her aunt's health gradually returned. And interestingly, after her recovery, the person who was suspected of enacting the witchcraft, her best friend, Auntie cut contacts with her and just kept her away. This experience taught the aunt that the spiritual realm could affect one's reality. Everything starts in the spirit realm. From that day, she remained cautious about the energies around her. Sharing this story, she hopes to shed light on the thin veil that separates the living from the unseen. The world we inhabit is filled with mystery, and every once in a while, we might stumble upon something that sends chill down our spine. Wow, thank you for submitting this story, Lolo. This was definitely a good one. It really do be your own man, and that is so unfortunate that in this world, you really don't know who to trust. Well, that is the end. So